Hello, welcome to our Q&A session for CFE exams, Canada CPA Online Academy, sharing the wisdom. So today's question, what we are going to tackle is management accounting. So management accounting is the biggest quant trap of all the cases. You will see it on day 2 and day 3. So day 2, there would be a bigger part of management accounting AOs where you have to calculate like a heavy quant and then some qualitative analysis and then the conclusion. So usually what happens in management accounting is the quants are heavy because you have to calculate the price of a product or some alternative buy or sell type of decisions where you have to calculate the buy option, you have to calculate the sale option or the incremental analysis, or you have to bifurcate fixed cost, variable cost. So it is very quant heavy and there would be number of alternatives. Suppose there are pricing options, 3 to 4 pricing options. You have to calculate each pricing option and then suggest which one is the best option. So what usually tends to happen is because it is a more number based subject, you feel that you need to get that quant right to complete that AO, but that is not the case. Now understand that um, even if there are 10 adjustments required to calculate a price of a product, you're not required to do all the 10 adjustments. Now, the question that bothers a lot of you is if I don't do all the 10 adjustments, my final answer would be incorrect. And if that is incorrect, then my suggestion or the conclusion would be incorrect. Doesn't matter as far as you are hitting the required number of adjustments on that quant and you are considering the significant part of the calculation, you are good. So always remember that MA, try to allocate your time sufficiently between the quantitative side and qualitative side. Do not ignore the qualitative aspect of the MA that could put you into RC or NC. So always balance your management accounting AOs into qualitative aspect and quantitative aspect. So what I'm suggesting is if there are 3 pricing options and there are six to seven adjustments in each pricing options, check what is going to impact the pricing substantially. Do those adjustments first and then arrive at your pricing calculations. Go to the qualitative analysis, write the pros and cons of option 1 and 2, and then give the final conclusion based on whatever quant you have finished. It doesn't matter if it's a perfect quant, if it's a correct quant, it doesn't matter. But conclude based on what your quant is suggesting. Now, sometimes you will see that there could be uh, like a pro would be a con for other options. So you can play with that as well, that the pro for this option you can write is the con for the other option. So that is also sometimes some AOs are like that as well. So you can write it write it like that. Now uh, for day 3 especially, uh, sometimes what happens is there are interlinked AOs. What I mean is like you have to calculate a price of a product or an option, and that links into second AO. So be careful with such AOs. Like when you do your initial reading, you will see that some are interlinked AOs. In that case, remember what is required for your next AO, and because if you skip that part, then you won't be able to do the next part of the next AO. So remember that that chain of or the links of those AOs. When you're doing your first reading, you will be able to understand this. So pay attention to those type of AOs, and in that case attempt those AOs in serially, in sequentially, so that you don't miss on the line of thought for that. And you can't write the second AO unless you complete the first AO, because the calculation is interdependent. But always remember that if you aim for completing the perfect quant for MA, that means you're losing your chance to complete the next AO, and that is going to be affecting you in your overall score. So whenever you are, so how to address this is like, say on day 2, suppose you see that it's a very quant heavy calculation and it's going to take more than your allotted 16-17 minutes per AO. It's going to take 20-25 minutes. Then analyze or understand or plan in your your initial planning, decide where you can find those 5 minutes. Are you able to write the risk in your 14-15 minutes? Are you able to save a couple of minutes in writing materiality? Are you what is your strength? Are you very good at writing audit procedures? Are you very good at writing the internal control weaknesses? So identify your strength and attempt those AOs, target those AOs to write quickly, aiming to finish them at 14-minute mark. So you're saving those 2-3 minutes, which you can then utilize in your MA. But if you are taking your full time 17 minutes for the assurance AO, and then you are also doing 25 minutes, 30 minutes MA, then definitely you are shorter of 10 minutes already on one AO, and then you're definitely going, it is going to hit somewhere. So you are going to miss an AO either on the FR side or on the assurance side. So be aware that that sometimes some AOs are not quant heavy. Like suppose there is an FRAO where you have to just state the revenue recognition, put the criteria, and there is no calculation involved in that, then that would take less than 15 minutes. So identify based, so in the initial planning, a lot more time from other AOs to that AO, but don't go over your time limit and try to finish. Similarly, on day 3, if it's a 90-minute case, 25% of your time would be in reading. So 20 minutes you're reading, you have 70 minutes, 8 AOs. So calculate that time per AO. Now in that also, if there is a suppose tax AO where you have to just explain, like suppose employee gifts or home office expenses, where you don't have any calculation as such, but you have to explain the provision, apply the case fact, and conclude. So that should not take you that full 8 minutes to write that AO. So in that, if can you write that in 5-6 minutes, and then the couple of minutes you can allot more to the MA or the FR quant, where you need more of the quantitative and qualitative part. So analyze that, plan it, and then execute your plan. So don't go blindfolded into MA and FRAO, because those are traps to make you keep you working on the AOs, and it then again you are not able to balance your time throughout the case. So pay attention to those AOs, and all the best. Keep the questions coming, and all the best for your exam. Thank you.